I will now ask His Excellency Karamoko Jean Marie Traoré, known a Black Albino, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Cooperation, and Burkinabe abroad, to speak. But to accompany him to the podium, I will take this opportunity to tell you that it is not only Black Albino. When you are in Burkina Faso, there is also the Black Winter. Mr. Karamoko, I ask you to explain to us what a Black Albino and the Black Winter are. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Dear friend. Clear and concise presentation on albino and winter will certainly come later. But this morning, I think we will focus on the strategy document. Your Excellency, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Cooperation, African Integration, and Togolaise. About dear friend, about to say, dear brother Diab, dear Dean Sangare Miza, Special Envoy, Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations. This is a special representative of myself, ministers, distinguished delegates, envoys and representatives, ladies and gentlemen. Minister, needless to say, I am pleased and honored to share this framework devoted to reflection that is as crucial as it is Burkina Faso as a Sahélienne country, but also for the Confederation of Sahel States, an airspace of opportunity and hope. They'll get to follow my lead in this. I would also like, on behalf of my counterparts from Mali, my brother Diop, and from Niger, Elder Sangare, to thank you for the invitation extended to us. I take this opportunity to congratulate you on this initiative. I would also like, Minister, to ask you to convey to His Excellency, the President of the Council, the fraternal greetings of their Excellencies, Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traoré, President of Faso, Head of the State, President of the Confederation of Sahel States, Kim. Army General Simi Goïta, President of the Republic of Mali. Army General Abdurrahman Tiani, President of the Republic of Niger. By inviting this executive, I believe that Togo remains faithful to its vocation as a land of dialogue and solidarity. And for Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, our fraternity and solidarity with the Togo are not just words. I think President Traoré had to say it. It is our daily experience. After having followed the presentation of this strategy, to which we have been associated for a long time, I would like to focus my speech on two essential areas. The first is the approach and vision that have driven this strategy. And the second area is its implementation into pillars, with the conviction that Mali and Niger will complete what I will have as observations. So, looking at the approach and the vision, as you know, there is such a long list of strategies for the Sahel, just as there is such a long list of envoys and representatives for the Sahel. I have dozens of them, all of which place the interests of the Sahel, solidarity and priorities for the Sahelians' heart. There is also such a long list of strategies developed for the Sahel, for the Sahelians, but without the Sahelians. And I believe that Togo's approach stands of this vision. That if this strategy must be built on a real knowledge of the terrain, the context, the cultural nuances and sensitivity. And the success of any strategy is fundamentally based on these levers. So mastery of the terrain, mastery of the content. In the case of thought, this is also confirmed by the flexibility and adaptability demonstrated by the revision of the 2021 strategy, which was developed before the birth of the Confederation of the States of Israel. Today, this situation is not only taken into account, but is respected as a new fact. So I would say that we have a very positive assessment of the approach that led to the development of this strategy, and which is also directly linked to the view taken of our region, the Sahel. Togo has always been respectful of the dynamics in our region, and this is reflected in the special ties we have with your country. No? And today this framework confirms the place we occupy in the thinking about building a new Africa, an Africa of opportunities and solutions. I think that this is the main advantage of this strategy. Its flexibility, its relevance, its proximity, and the fact that it places the Sahel and the Sahelians at the center of the thinking, and I congratulate you on that. The vision, because it determines everything, is a Sahel, an enclave of problems or a land of opportunities? Is it a threat or a land of hope? A landlocked land or a space of connection, a gateway? I think that when reading the 5 pillars that are set out throughout the strategy, we immediately understand that you have the right reading that must be had and that all partners must have understood. And what is this reading? First, it is to place at the heart the ability of the Sahelians to build a space of freedom for themselves, as long as we give them the opportunity, the means, and this freedom to do so. The second is
to always keep the Sahélienne space and the Sahélienne populations have a close association. It seems to me that strategies that are intended to be real, sincere, and sustainable must be thought through, must be done, built and implemented by putting discussions and reflection at the heart. The Sahelians first. No Sahel without the Sahel. And the many strategies that exist for the Sahel and that we discover over time, unfortunately, many are developed in contexts far from the Sahel, and many discussions continue to be conducted far from the Sahel, often in a completely different context. This framework gives us the opportunity to invite people to trust the capacity of our states, the capacity of the Sahelians to reflect on, build, implement, support, and evaluate prone destiny, because I think that is what it is all about. By inviting a framework, Togo is opening up a new approach and showing the way forward for strategies that certainly in good consideration have been developed with those of the Sahelians at their heart, I am sure. But when you read most of the strategies, you realize in the very first paragraphs that there is a lot to discover about the Sahelians and the Sahel for those who develop them. So for us, this is an opportunity to say, yes, we must build fruitful partnerships to make the Sahel a land of opportunity. That is its vocation. By working with the people of the Sahel, by placing the capacity at the heart of the approach, at the heart of the approach. Rochelle, Minister Rochelle Minister, as I said in the introduction, my brothers from Malienne will certainly provide complementary elements. I would really like to congratulate on this approach, for this process, and to tell you how available our brother countries are. If it is not redundant to say so here, because we are already in this dynamic, to work together around the 5 pillars. Dialogue, of course, is based on realism and not confined to principles. Diplomacy is also based on relations focused on real and concrete results that will allow not only the sub-region to evolve, but also the whole of Africa to experience development. The Sahel cannot be dissociated from the rest of Africa. The Sahel offers Africa the opportunity to overcome the challenges we face. The security is courageously addressed by the heads of state of the Kong of Sahel states, who are doing an enormous amount of work, the benefits of which are not only for saints, but for the entire sub-region and all of Africa. Moving away from rhetoric and focusing on concrete action. We often hear people say that the Sahel is the shield that helps contain the security threat that threatens other countries. Messina. But for the time being, this shield is held by heads of state, or misunderstood. Enough, but who are assuming their mission responsibly. I won't be long. I would like to conclude by reiterating our pleasure in sharing this with you, and I will certainly see you at the albino you are waiting for.
Thank you, Minister,
for your speech. Her